The world today faces many dangers. We worry about wars and climate change. But what if the biggest threat isn't a bomb, but a bug? Infectious diseases have the potential to cause widespread suffering and death. We need to be ready. For too long we've focused on other threats. We spend trillions on weapons but far less on preventing disease outbreaks. This is like ignoring a fire alarm because you're worried about a leaky faucet. We can't afford to be caught off guard. Imagine a new disease, even more contagious than the flu. It spreads like wildfire, overwhelming hospitals and shutting down cities. This isn't science fiction, it's a very real possibility. We need to invest in pandemic preparedness now, before it's too late. The 2014 Ebola outbreak in West Africa was a wake-up call. The world was woefully unprepared. Information about the outbreak was slow to reach health officials. By the time teams were deployed, the virus had already spread widely. The response was hampered by a lack of resources and coordination. There weren't enough trained personnel, treatment centers, or even basic supplies like gloves and masks. The world watched in horror as the death toll mounted. Yet, amidst the tragedy, there were glimmers of hope. Brave healthcare workers risked their lives to care for the sick. The international community eventually mobilized, sending aid and expertise. Ebola showed us the devastating consequences of inaction. It also highlighted the importance of a swift, coordinated response. We must learn from our mistakes and do better next time. The next pandemic could be far worse than Ebola. Imagine a virus as deadly as Ebola, but as contagious as the measles. Such a virus could kill millions, cripple economies, and destabilize societies. The threat of bioterrorism adds another layer of complexity. Terrorist groups could weaponize existing viruses or create new, deadlier strains. The consequences of such an attack would be catastrophic. We must be prepared for all scenarios. This means investing in early detection systems, developing new vaccines and treatments, and strengthening global health systems. Preventing pandemics is not just a matter of saving lives, it's also smart economics. A global pandemic could cost trillions of dollars in lost productivity and healthcare costs. Investing in preparedness now is far cheaper than dealing with the consequences of an outbreak later. We need a multi-pronged approach. This includes strengthening healthcare systems in developing countries, building a global reserve corps of trained medical professionals, and investing in research and development. We also need to improve coordination and communication between governments and international organizations. A pandemic is a global problem that requires a global solution. The COVID-19 pandemic was a stark reminder of our vulnerability to infectious diseases. We cannot afford to be complacent. We must invest in pandemic preparedness now to protect ourselves, our children, and future generations. The time to act is now.